You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey, welcome to episode 331 of the Soul Forge podcast.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Shawn Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Hi, Leah.
Hi.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
Excellent.
Good.
So, everybody out there in podcast land, this is a momentous episode.
Is it?
It is.
Wow. How come?
2 reasons.
Okay.
Okay, first,
Yeah.
it's the 7-year anniversary since the Soul Forge began.
Wow. 7 years.
7
That long?
That long.
Wow.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And it's also episode 331, which is the exact amount of regular episodes that I produced on the Rusted Robot podcast that I did before this.
Oh, now I understand. Now it's all coming together.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, because you proposed an idea.
I did.
Yeah.
Should we tell the listeners about the idea?
Yes.
Or should we just celebrate 7 years of wonderful forging of souls?
Okay, but sure. It just seems odd to me that, the same amount of episodes for one podcast and then the same amount of another one. And now this other,
idea is...
idea that's coming through.
Yes. Okay. So everybody out there listening to the sound of our voices.
Yes.
We have an idea.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been podcasting for over 10 years.
Yep.
And started with the Rusted Robot.
Yep.
And then transitioned over to Soul Forge with a little bit of mixture of other podcasts around there. Paul and I did 40 episodes of the Sci-Fi Waffle podcast.
Right.
And we've also done... I actually don't know how many episodes of the Cosmic Pizza podcast and the Epsilon 3 podcast.
Yeah, that's been going on a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, at least 100 of each of those with Paul and Dan.
Hello, I'm Daniel Peter Hitch, author of the Bubbles the Pirate children's book series and the Connected Worlds Chronicles. You're listening to the Soul Forge podcast. Keep forging your soul.
Mm-hmm.
And Casey recently joined us on Cosmic Pizza for some episodes.
Right.
And you've been on a couple too.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've been, let's see, that's 700.
Let's put too many.
Yeah, 900 plus episodes.
Yeah.
Plus the dozens of shows I've guested on.
Yes.
Yes. But in all this time,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't have anything. I was trying to be dramatic and exciting.
Okay.
But no, we've had an idea that we're... In the next few months, we're going to wind down the Soul Forge podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I are going to start a brand new podcast that we started together.
Yes.
Because Rusted Robot was started with my former wife.
Mm-hmm.
Soul Forge was meant as my way to self-therapy.
Mm-hmm.
Self-therapize? Is there a word there?
Heal yourself? I don't know.
Oh, heal myself.
Yeah. Heal yourself?
Yeah. I think I've done that.
A new beginning maybe for yourself as a single person maybe?
Yes, that's exactly right.
Yeah.
Yep. And we've on Soul Forge we've healed our souls. We've had author interviews and rapper interviews and all kinds of different things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But now the time is coming for you and I to embark on a new adventure together, a brand new podcast.
Yeah.
We're still workshopping ideas.
Yes, absolutely.
And names.
Yep.
But I think what we're going to do is we're going to start it once we've moved into our new place.
Yeah, so new beginnings for you. A lot of them, actually. New wife.
That's you.
Yep, new wife. That's me. Stepson. So you have a new stepchild, which is my son Wyatt.
Yes.
And, new life. And kind of the reason that this came about, listeners, is because when we got together, you moved into my house.
I did.
And, that's somewhere that I shared with a previous husband and that type of thing. And we sort of came to the idea that we need to start fresh. Because now we're together and we're beginning our lives together.
That's right.
And we're kind of cleaning house. We're really kind of starting new with everything,
So fresh and so clean.
Yeah. Yeah. So new house, new furniture. We're doing some furniture shopping.
Oh yeah, let's talk about that. Mm-hmm. So for the last 2 or 3 months, we've been looking for a new house.
Yeah.
And it looks like we're going to get it.
Yeah.
The sellers found place.
Yes.
Did they accept an offer?
Yes, they did.
They did. So that's all official.
They have everything. Yeah. That's
Okay.
why that we're now, sort of moving on to the next phase. My house is up for sale.
And we had a pile of showings. We had an open house over this past weekend.
Yeah.
There was a guy today doing a FaceTime video call.
Yeah.
With
video viewing, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's how we would describe it.
Yeah.
A video viewing with people about 3 hours from here.
Yeah, around 2.5 to 3 hours.
Yeah, and sounds like they're going to put an offer in tonight.
Yes, so we got a call from our realtor, and that's
wood.
what he said, that that the realtor for their realtor called him and said they are writing up an offer.
Excellent.
So we are getting an offer. We don't know what it is yet.
No, so it could be horrible. It could be great.
Yeah, we don't know if they're just tire kicking, whatever, but we also still have a showing today. One more.
Actually, we're at our friend Amanda's house right now recording this episode. She's out of town.
Yes.
And so we took our recording device and came over here.
Yes, because
it's quiet.
It is quiet here. There are some animals here in the house, so if anybody hears anything, it's not paranormal, we promise. It's probably a cat or a dog.
It's not unusual to hear animals on the podcast.
No, not at all. And we, there's still a showing today, which was happening pretty much as we left.
Yes.
And then we also have, I believe there's one more tomorrow.
Is there one tomorrow?
I think so. I'll have to double check, but I think there is one more tomorrow still.
Okay.
So lots of interest.
Yes.
Word's getting around, This weekend, the open house really didn't go all that great, but it is summertime. Let's not forget. And people have camps and that type of thing. So they're really not interested in going to open houses on the weekend.
And I don't think it was very well advertised.
No.
It didn't show up on realtor.ca.
No.
Although the one that's scheduled for this coming Thursday has shown up there.
Oh, did it? Really?
I saw it, yeah.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah, so the other one just didn't, so nobody knew about it.
Yeah, so we're just concerned that maybe that was the problem. But we're kind of having a little bit of a debate as well. If we have an offer, do we still show it? Do we still have an open house? We'd like to get thoughts from the audience here. What do you guys think? Email us at
soulforgepodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, or leave us a comment on the Facebook page.
Yes, because we could get an offer.
Absolutely.
But their financing might not go through.
That's right.
And so we should have the open house this coming Thursday.
That's how I feel.
So that other people can see it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's going to hurt anything.
Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't count, I guess. Don't count on this.
Don't count your chickens before they lay the eggs.
Or yes, exactly, or before they're hatched. Or
whatever that's called.
Whatever that's called.
Yeah, anyway.
Yeah, yeah. But you know what you can count on?
What?
This promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
In the Cosmic Pizza Podcast, your pizza delivery guys,
Paul,
Dan,
Sean,
Casey,
serve you a slice of life. We talk to women in comedy, voice actors, directors, producers, and authors.
We also talk about conspiracy theories, our top 3 films of the decade, famous people we confuse with each other, and our favourite stand-up comedians.
We've recast Star Trek and Babylon 5 and created alternate superheroes.
But most of all, we have had so much fun doing it every 2 weeks.
2 weeks!
Cosmic Pizza Podcast is not about the cosmos or pizza.
Oh, and we're back.
Yes, we're back.
Wasn't that a great promo?
That was a great promo.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So a few weeks ago, we went furniture shopping.
Yes, furniture shopping.
Just in case all this stuff goes through. Or, I know, when it goes through.
When it goes through.
We wanted to be
I'm the more positive one. Sean is the more pessimistic one.
I'm more Buddhist.
You can call whatever you want. I call it pessimism.
Everything's maybe.
Yeah, everything's maybe and perhaps and I don't know and I'm not sure and yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's one of the sources of arguments in our relationship right now.
It's not really an argument. It's more of a you find it funny and I forget that I do it.
You're doing it now.
Am I? See? It's so ingrained in my personality. I don't recognize it. Yeah. So what did we find for furniture?
We found a new dining room table because the one that we currently have is pretty old, but also a friend of my ex-husband's who came and lived with us for a little while. He needed a place to stay. So we had an extra room. He lived in said room and brought some furniture, and that was one of the pieces he brought. So it's a smaller table. It's only like a square type table, and it has 4 chairs. It's getting on the older side. So not a problem. We were looking at, because we're going to have a little bit of a larger house.
Yes.
We wanted a larger dining room table.
And we tried out maybe a dozen different sets.
Yeah.
But this one that we have our eyes set on, most comfortable chairs I've ever sat in.
Yeah, you really liked it. And I think that's important for me because I want you to like it, to want to use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is
because
important.
you don't use the table right now.
No, I'm a couch eater.
Yes.
I don't eat couches, but I eat at the couch.
Yes, and it's quite frustrating. I actually would like the environment where we sit at a dining room table and, have conversations instead of just eating on the couch. When I was single, when you were single, yes, those things are fine, but no, we should not be, especially if now that we're going to have the room for guests to come and stay, we're not going to have couch eating.
We're gonna be like those fancy people on the Home and Garden television show. Oh, we need a space for entertaining.
Oh, stop. No, but the whole reason, and I know we've said it before, we want to have space for out-of-town guests, for your son if he comes.
That's right.
Anybody like that. So we'll have more house, to house friends and family.
Exactly.
Yeah,
we also looked at a bedroom suite,
yes.
Bedroom set.
Yes, because the one, again, what we're sleeping on currently, your stuff is all in storage.
Yeah.
And my stuff is basically stuff that I've shared with an ex before. And, we just want to
start
fresh and have stuff that's ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we found a nice, are we getting a queen or a king?
What do you think? Because we're right now on a king size bed.
Yes. And it's nice and wide and it's large.
Yes.
And there's plenty of room for rolling around
yes.
and building tent forts and stuff.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, we need a tent fort.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But the other idea is that if we stick with the queen, Wyatt's bed is a queen, the guest bed is a queen. We don't have to get extra sheets because we already have queen sheets.
Yeah, but those can be used for the guest bed and Wyatt's bed. So I don't care.
Okay. So
I prefer the king size bed. Listeners out there, what do you think? We're a newlywed couple. We might need a little bit more room.
Yes, indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Suggestive winks. I like it. What a way to celebrate 7 years of podcasting.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
that's
boy.
What we're doing.
That's right. Yeah, no, we're talking. What else were we going to talk about? We had some other ideas. So we looked at the bedroom set. We looked at the
dining room set.
The dining room set.
I always wanted one of those round nesting chairs.
Oh, yes.
As well.
That's right.
And they have one that swivels. There's also one that doesn't swivel. And I'm fine. It's obviously way less expensive. And I'm okay with just the one that doesn't swivel.
Right.
But I've always wanted one. I think they're beautiful. I bet you I would spend a lot of time in it. So I would like to pick that up as well.
Okay. Sounds good. Another thing we did last week on Wednesday, we went to the Amore fashion show.
Yes.
That was previewed or featured on episode 2 episodes ago called Boobs, Beer, and Burgers.
Yep.
And so, yeah, we definitely saw...
We saw some boobs.
And had some burgers.
And had some burgers.
We didn't have any beer.
No, we did not have any beer.
There was a surprise impromptu wedding by a couple of the people.
It was very interesting.
Yeah, it was a rainbow wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I did enjoy about that particular fashion show, there were colors. So I guess they dyed one particular dress for the kind of end scene, I guess, almost, for the rainbow wedding. And they had these bright colors, and it was actually quite beautiful. I have to commend G and her crew to know that they did a fantastic job. It was quite beautiful.
It was.
Yeah.
Yep. It was very bright. And she had mentioned on that episode that every time she does this fashion show, it rains. And it had rained that morning.
Yes.
But it didn't rain that evening. And the fashion show went off very well. And they had great weather for it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Actually, it was so bright we couldn't even hardly see. I didn't have my sunglasses.
Yeah, we kind of forgot the sunglasses. Well, you did. I brought mine.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, it was nice. And Wyatt brought his. My son Wyatt came with us as well. And it was an interesting fashion show. What I did like about it, like I said, were the bright colors. That was very, very nice. And I liked the idea that they showcased many different body styles.
Yeah.
And how maybe one particular person, listeners, not everybody who's super skinny in a size 0 or 2 looks fantastic in everything. Actually, sometimes it's that size 10, size 12 that actually fits out the outfit a little bit better.
I think during some of her emceeing, she mentioned that they had sizes extra small to 4 or 5X.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah, absolutely. But I really enjoyed that she had different models. There were some that were super thin.
Oh, yeah.
And then some that were a little larger.
Yeah.
And it was great, actually. It was nice to see, I do have to say. I like the variety.
Yeah, it was a fun evening.
Yeah.
Yep. Something out of our normal, whatever we do.
Yeah, the normal realm of things.
That's right. Big news from this weekend. It was San Diego Comic-Con, and also Deadpool and Wolverine came out.
Yes.
Brother Robin went and saw it, said it's amazing, and why haven't I seen it yet?
Of course. So we're going to have to do that.
Yeah, Robert Downey Jr. is coming back to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Uh-oh.
He's not going to be Tony Stark. He's going to be Doctor Doom.
I saw that.
Yep. And there were trailers released for Star Trek Lower Decks, Star Trek Strange New Worlds, and lots of information about Starfleet Academy.
Well, interestingly enough, when we went on Saturday, we had some showings and we had to leave the homestead for a while.
Yes.
I was looking at the television at where we went for lunch and noticed that there were some interesting facts about Inside Out 2.
Oh?
It was the highest grossing animated movie ever.
Ever?
Ever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yes.
Good for them.
Yeah. So Walt Disney, and I think it's a Walt Disney Pixar thing, if I'm not mistaken, and they really pulled it off. A lot of interested people. It made a ton of money.
A shower of money. A shower of cash.
Shower of cash.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep.
Good. Yeah. And we picked up some items for our Etsy shops.
Yes. I'm actually going to take some photos this evening of 2 particular purchases that I made this evening.
You got some teddy bears at Value Village.
Okay.
Well, they're not
teddy bears.
They're not teddy bears, but they're stuffies.
They're stuffies. And can I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grab
Okay.
it.
I'm going to grab this particular one. I'm actually quite excited about. I don't believe that I've ever seen this before, but this is called a Sweetie Pie Kid.
Sweetie Pie Kid.
Yeah. So it's the Sweetie Pie Kids is the kind of collection, I guess. And this one is probably the 2002, I believe. I saw. Yeah. But this one is in high demand. Her name is Simone. She's in great shape. And I will be putting her on the Etsy shop for the bargain price of, I'm not sure yet. But
And they can find it by going to Collect and Cast On.
Collect and Cast On at Etsy. That is my Etsy shop.
That's right.
I may have to take her hair down and sort of redo it. Yeah. But she's in fantastic shape, and I'm very, very excited to add this one to the Etsy shop.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And a couple weeks ago at Value Village, we picked up some vintage Playmobil Little People.
Yes.
So we split those up, and I posted them on my Etsy shop, which is the Rusted Robot Toys. You haven't done yours yet.
I have not done mine yet, but that was my plan for this evening.
Right.
Was to put some of the stuff on Etsy.
And then these people wanted to come and see our house.
Yeah, for some reason. I don't know why, but yes, everybody wanted to come see our house. So I've got a few movies that I'm going to post as well, VHSs.
Disney ones?
Disney in the original clamshells.
Ooh,
yes.
Vintage. How vintage?
Pretty vintage.
Yes.
Pretty vintage.
That's right.
I believe it depends on which one. Probably the one I'm the most excited about, though, was the original, Walt's very first production, Snow White. I have that one on VHS, and they can go to Collect and Cast On.
Yes, they can. That's quite true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought there was something else that we wanted to discuss, but I seem to have lost it.
All right.
Can you remember anything?
No.
No. Okay, because we're celebrating the 7 years. We talked about the new house, talked about Etsy, we talked about furniture shopping.
Yes.
Talked a little bit about Marvel and movies and stuff like that.
Yep.
I guess that's really it.
I guess it is.
We should have had cake, because it is the 7-year celebration.
Oh, this is true.
And it is equaling the amount of regular episodes that Rusted Robot Podcast had. It did have some midweek supplementals and stuff like that, but regular episodes were 331. So we're going to start something brand new, and we would love to hear your ideas for podcast titles.
Yeah. What would you like to hear about from us? What do you want us to chat about? If you have anything in particular, let us know.
Yeah, it's going to be similar to Soulforge, but it's going to have more structure.
Of course.
And it's going to be something that we started together.
Yep, absolutely.
Yep. So that's basically what's been going on in our lives, dear listeners. So hope you'll share the episode link, leave it a good 5-star review, and the episode catcher of your choice, podcast catcher of your choice, I guess I should say. Take care of yourselves and each other. And remember, if you don't take the time to do it right, you'll find the time to do it twice. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soulforge Podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soulforge Podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
This is Joy, coming to you live in Riley's mind. Make some noise! Sadness is in the house!
Inside Out 2 must be feeling all the joy. The animated film just surpassed Frozen 2 to become the highest-grossing animated film of all time. The Pixar film became the top-grossing Hollywood animated film of all time at the worldwide box office after finishing Tuesday with $1.462 billion, not adjusted for inflation.
It's what you would call the boredom.
What's your name, big fella? That's embarrassment. Welcome to headquarters, embarrassment.
Disney Animation's Frozen 2 topped out at $1.451 billion in 2019 and now rests at number 2 on the all-time animated list, followed by Illumination and Universal's The Super Mario Bros. Movie, the first Frozen, and Pixar's Incredibles 2 rounding out the top 5. Meanwhile, Inside Out 2's domestic total stands at $601 million. The sequel is also now the biggest film since Barbie strutted into theaters 1 year ago. Directed by Kelsey Mann, the sequel introduces a whole new cast of emotions who are brought into headquarters when the story's young heroine Riley becomes a teenager. Joy, sadness, anger, fear, and disgust aren't so sure how to feel about the arrival of anxiety, envy, ennui, and embarrassment.
Have I ever steered you wrong before?
Many times.
For more on the story, head to thr.com.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.